Uzbekistan is a confusing place. More and more people are using the internet, but the government is watching everything they do online and censoring what they can see. Even though more people can get online, the government controls what's on the internet, stopping anyone from speaking up and making people afraid. This video will look at how the Uzbek government controls what people see online. We'll talk about the laws they use, how they censor things, and the tools they use to spy on people who disagree with them. The government controls almost everything people see and say online. Websites that criticize the government get blocked, and social media is watched very closely. Journalists and bloggers who write things the government doesn't like can be harassed, threatened, and even put in jail. This makes people afraid to say what they think, so they don't post anything at all. This online crackdown has big consequences. People can't get different viewpoints or real information, so they can't make good decisions or hold their leaders responsible. It also hurts businesses and new ideas, because everyone has to work within the government's rules. It also hurts human rights. Activists and human rights defenders can't report on bad things happening, and victims can't speak up. Without a free internet, it's easy for the government to hide bad things and get away with them. The Uzbek government uses laws and technology to control what people see online. Even though the country's constitution says people can say what they want, that doesn't really happen. There are laws against saying bad things about the government online, even if they're true. These laws are used to silence anyone who disagrees with the government. The government also uses technology to watch what people do online. Internet providers have to install spying equipment so the government can read messages and see what people are doing. Social media has strict rules, and the government uses special tools to block websites they don't like. The government also does sneakier things. They have people post lots of positive comments about the government online to hide negative comments and try to change people's minds. This makes it hard to find real information and trust anything you see online. The government also controls who can get online. News companies and groups that aren't part of the government have a hard time getting permission to be online, which limits what they can do. This control lets the government control information and make sure people only see what they want them to see. The government's actions hurt real people. Journalists, bloggers, and regular people who speak up online can be harassed, threatened, and put in jail. The stories of these people show how much the government doesn't want anyone to disagree with them. One example is Abdukodir Muminov, a blogger who was sentenced to over 7 years in prison in 2023 for criticizing the president's family's business dealings. His story shows how far the government will go to silence people online. People who post about human rights abuses online are also targeted. In 2024, several people were arrested for posting about Dolet Muratov, a political prisoner who died in jail. These cases show the government doesn't want anyone talking about its human rights record. Because of this, many people in Uzbekistan are afraid to say what they think online. They worry they'll be watched and punished. This fear stops open discussion and critical thinking, making it hard for a free and independent internet to exist. Even with all the censorship and spying, there's a little bit of hope for internet freedom in Uzbekistan. In 2025, the government said internet providers could connect directly to the global internet, which might make it harder for the government to control everything. This, along with efforts to get more people online, could lead to more online freedom in the future. However, we don't know yet if these changes will actually help people. Other countries and groups can help bring a free internet to Uzbekistan. They should pressure the Uzbek government to respect freedom of speech and let people get together. Tech companies also need to stop the government from censoring and spying. By supporting a free internet, tech companies can help create a safe space for people in Uzbekistan to speak their minds without being afraid. The fight for internet freedom in Uzbekistan isn't over, but if everyone works together, we can help create a future where everyone in Uzbekistan can get information and speak freely.